One of the greatest gifts that you can ever have if you want to be successful is having people around you who loves you so much that they're able to tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Someone who celebrates your victories, someone who applauds your progress and courageous enough to say, see, not that way. Those people are not your enemies. They are your safety nets. We live in a generation where people carelessly say, I'm self-made, self-raising flower. I've heard one ignorant woman who was saying, I'm self-made. I looked at him like, but you don't have anything made on you. Sounds impressive. But if you are to be honest, I haven't met anyone who was self-made. Because at some point, even Jesus was sitting in the temple debating scriptures with the priests. Someone must have taught you something. Someone corrected you somewhere. Someone prayed for you. Someone encouraged you when you wanted to quit. Someone mentioned your name in the rooms of opportunities that were not even there. Success may carry your name, but fingerprints are all over for people who supported you. Even the strongest leaders, they need accountability. Even CEOs, they have boards. The champions have coaches. So who are you? The higher you rise, the more you need people around you who are so courageous enough to tell you that, stop it. Because, when you rise, you start growing wings. You feel like you need someone to say, calm down, comrade. Bopi pond. The moment you believe that you answer to nobody, just know that pride is decorating your living room. Choose people who are not impressed by your title, who are not impressed by your money. Choose people who are not impressed by how many followers you have or your achievements. Choose people who care about your character more than your popularity. Those are the people who will lovingly say to you, that wasn't the best decision. While everyone else is clapping. Have you ever done something that everyone is clapping for you? Then someone secretly comes to you and says, that wasn't the best decision. Let us be honest. Some of us were friends. Only friends whose qualification is everything that we do. They will say, yes, go Tsitsi, go Tsitsi. You tell them I've resigned from my job, but I haven't got another one. They say, yes, power move. You know those ones? You tell them, I'm fighting with my boss. They'll tell you, teach him a lesson. You tell them I've blocked the whole clan. I've blocked the entire family. They will say, protect your peace. At this point, you're not receiving advice. You're collecting supporters for your next mistake. I'm not saying you need to stay. I'm saying you need to use your own discretion, right? And there is a friend of mine that if she says to me, sit down, I know that's fireworks. And I pay attention every time because I know it comes from a place of love. Some friends are so loyal that if you jump off the bridge, they will. That was the best fly ever. My dear, that's not friendship. That is assisted disaster. Real friends do not clap for every decision that you make. They challenge you when necessary. They ask you difficult questions. They remind you of your values when your mind is forgotten. Because we are human beings. We tend to forget sometimes. They remind you, who is this? There was a time I was talking to a colleague of mine and at a certain project that I wanted to embark on. I was all I could see was the downs. And she says to me, and who is talking? Do you hear the voice that is talking? I said, yeah. I said, who is that person? You need someone who reminds you your values. Because we are human beings, there's a time that you feel the power is gone, the strength is gone. These people, they care more about protecting your future than protecting your feelings. Feelings. Feelings are so deceitful. Today you're loving somebody. Tomorrow you don't want to see them anymore. So we don't work with feelings. One of the greatest signs of maturity is being able to hear. When you are able to sit and listen to someone saying, I don't think you handled that too well, without immediately ending the friendship. Some people treat collection like a spam email. They delete before reading it. Then later, they wonder why the same problems keep resurfacing. I've got a friend of mine who, I don't want to call her a friend. I've got one person that I met and we parted ways because she always says, I wish. Tsitsi, I wish. I miss you. I say, I miss you too. Do not surround yourself with people who only tell you what you want to hear. Surround yourself with people who lovingly tell you what you need to hear. Blouse feel good, feels good, but corrections makes you better. The people who truly love you are not those who always agree with you. They're the ones who care enough to call you to order before life does, because life will call you to order. And trust me, life's corrections comes with emojis without apologies. I am Amazing Grace.